Gentlemen, I want to start by sharing something most men rarely understand. Touch is not just a physical act. It is a language, a signal, a bridge between two minds and hearts. Many men assume they know how to touch a woman, but the truth is, very few truly understand the emotional power certain touches carry. There are areas of a woman's body that, when approached with care, awareness, and respect, can open emotional doors long before any physical reaction happens. Most men only recognize two or three of these, and often they misunderstand what women truly need. I've spent over 20 years working with couples, studying not just how relationships work, but why they work, or sometimes why they slowly drift apart. I've seen countless men believe they are connecting, only to find their partners distant, distracted, or unresponsive. The missing link isn't technique, it's understanding. Women communicate deeply, often without words. Their eyes, their posture, the way they shift, even the subtlest gestures, these are the signals that reveal what they truly desire. Yet most men never learn to read them. Think about this for a moment. How often do you pause to consider not just where you touch, but how and why? A touch can be mechanical or it can be meaningful. The difference is enormous. It's the difference between connection and indifference. Women don't respond to touch alone. They respond to presence, attention, and intention. Before your hands ever reach her, she is already sensing your awareness, your respect, and your emotional energy. Let's explore this concept further. Emotional intimacy precedes physical intimacy. It is what allows her to feel safe, valued, and seen. When she senses genuine care, her mind relaxes and her body naturally follows. But here's the challenge. Women rarely verbalize these needs directly. They show them in subtle ways through how they stand, how they look at you, and how they respond or don't respond to touch. Too often, men act on instinct, assuming that simply touching the right place will create connection, yet without emotional safety. Even the most strategic touch can feel cold, intrusive, or mechanical. One thing a former patient told me has stayed with me over the years. She said, "Don't touch me just to touch me. Let me feel that you're really there first." That simple sentence captures the essence of what many women feel. It is not about the act itself. It's about creating an environment where she feels understood and emotionally safe. Only then does touch become meaningful. Let's start with the hands. Most men overlook the hands, yet they are powerful conveyors of emotion. When you hold a woman's hand slowly, with warmth and attention, you are doing more than touching skin. You are signaling presence, care, and connection. A soft stroke along her fingers or gentle pressure in her palm releases oxytocin, the hormone of trust and bonding. Couples who maintain hand-holding over decades often report feeling closer, more connected, and emotionally secure. One small detail many men forget: the hands themselves matter. Clean, warm, and well cared for hands are not trivial. They enhance the emotional impact and convey respect without words. Next, consider the nape of the neck, right at the hairline. This area often carries tension without her even realizing it. When touched slowly and gently, without expectation, it signals reassurance and safety. It is not about stimulation, it is about soothing and trust. I recall a couple in their late 50s. The husband felt distant from his wife, unsure if she even noticed him anymore. One evening, with no goal in mind, he placed his hand lightly on the nape of her neck. She paused, exhaled, and turned toward him. That quiet, deliberate gesture reopened an emotional door they thought had been closed. Another overlooked zone is the lower back, the area between the waist and hips. This area conveys stability and presence. A gentle hand placed here without restraint or pressure communicates, "I am here and you are safe, yet free." It is a gesture that works in the small moments of daily life, in the kitchen, in a quiet morning, in shared silence. No words are necessary. The message is clear. These touches may seem small, but their impact is profound. Women do not just feel them physically, they process them emotionally and neurologically. Each area of contact I'm describing is connected to emotional circuits in the brain. The hands, the nape of the neck, and the lower back are not sexual zones. They are emotional sensors. They tell her that you are present, that you notice her, and that she matters. And when a woman feels this, her mind softens and her body naturally follows. Now let's move to another set of areas that many men underestimate, yet they hold enormous emotional significance. The first of these is behind the ear, just below the jawline. This zone is highly sensitive, not just physically, but emotionally. It is only accessible when trust already exists. Light, gentle touches here communicate warmth, appreciation, and attentiveness. Too much pressure can shut down the moment, but softness opens it. A woman once told me that touching this area didn't make her feel desired in a physical sense. It made her feel valued. And that distinction is crucial. Feeling valued is often the first step toward deeper intimacy. Next is the area between the shoulder blades. Most men overlook this zone entirely, yet it is powerful. Psychologically, it represents protection. When a hand rests there gently, it communicates reassurance and care. She cannot see herself in that moment, so she relies entirely on your presence. A gentle touch here slows the nervous system, softens the mind, and sends a clear message. You are safe. I am here for you. Unlike many other touches, this one is not sexual. That is exactly why it works so well. It creates an environment of trust and emotional safety. Then there is the inner thigh near the knees. I want to emphasize clearly, this is not about intimate areas. It is a transitional zone, one that says, I am close, but I respect your pace. It is suggestive yet safe. Many men skip this entirely, moving too quickly or misreading signals. The inner thigh, approached slowly and respectfully, can deepen emotional trust because it demonstrates awareness, patience, and sensitivity. It tells her that you are attentive to her comfort and boundaries, and that you are present in the moment with her. Finally, we come to the lower abdomen around the navel. This area often surprises men, yet it holds remarkable emotional power. The lower belly represents the meeting point of instinct and emotion. Touch here requires sincerity, patience, and care. Place your hand slowly, warmly, as though you are handling something precious. When a woman allows this, she is offering not just her body, but a glimpse into her inner world. The lower abdomen is not about instant gratification. It is about trust and emotional openness. Why do these zones matter so much? Because women process touch in a profoundly different way than men often assume. Their skin receptors are highly sensitive, and these specific areas trigger emotional responses in the brain, releasing oxytocin, the hormone responsible for bonding, trust, and emotional connection. In other words, women respond first to emotional signals, then to physical sensations. When a touch is intentional, aware, and respectful, it signals you are seen, you are safe, you matter. And that creates a foundation that no mechanical gesture or quick fix can ever achieve. The key to using these touches effectively is simple but rarely practiced. Slow down, be present, observe her reactions without expectation. Use these moments in everyday life, not just in special moments. A brief, gentle touch while she is reading, cooking, or simply standing nearby can communicate far more than words. Over time, these touches accumulate into a profound sense of connection, making her feel noticed, appreciated, and emotionally safe. One man shared with me recently that he had no idea what changed, but over time his wife began to respond differently, more openly, more warmly, more lovingly. She didn't explain it, she just felt it. That is the essence of what I want to convey. These zones are not buttons to press, they are doors to open. And every time you approach them with genuine care, patience, and attention, you are strengthening the emotional bond between you quietly but powerfully. At this point, you might be wondering, why does all of this matter so much? Why should we focus on emotional zones rather than just physical gestures? The answer is simple. Connection lasts when it is rooted in trust, awareness, and presence. Women do not respond to touch alone. They respond to the intention behind it. A touch without thought is meaningless. A touch with presence can transform a relationship. The 7 zones we've explored, the hands, nape of the neck, lower back, behind the ear, between the shoulder blades, inner thighs, and lower abdomen, are not a checklist. They are a map of emotional connection. Each zone offers an opportunity to communicate silently, to show care, to open doors without words. When a woman feels that her emotional world is being respected and acknowledged, her body and mind naturally follow. This is the foundation of deep, lasting intimacy. Here's the practical approach. First, always slow down, move deliberately, notice her reactions, and adjust accordingly. Presence is far more powerful than speed or intensity. Second, consistency matters. Touch in small, everyday moments, while cooking, walking together, or simply sitting side by side. These moments accumulate into a sense of closeness that words alone cannot create. Third, remember that emotional safety is the priority. Never rush or force, always respect boundaries. A woman who feels safe is far more likely to feel open, receptive, and emotionally connected. It's also important to understand that these touches are not about performance. They are about presence, awareness, and care. You're not trying to create immediate reactions or instant gratification. You're creating a space where she can feel seen, valued, and understood. When this foundation exists, physical intimacy becomes natural, meaningful, and mutually fulfilling. Let me share one final insight. Men often underestimate the subtle power of touch over time. One conscious gesture, a gentle hand on hers while walking, a reassuring hand on the small of her back, a slow, warm touch to the nape of her neck, can rekindle connection even in long-standing relationships. These gestures accumulate, building trust, emotional security, and closeness. They are small, quiet, yet profound acts of love. Remember, every touch carries a message. When you approach these zones with sincerity, you are saying, I see you, I respect you, you matter to me. This is what women truly want. Not pressure, not performance, but connection. The physical response is a natural result of emotional engagement, not the goal itself. It is never too late to begin again. Whether your relationship is decades old or you are just starting to build a bond, one conscious, thoughtful gesture can open a new chapter. The path to connection is not through speed or mechanics. It is through awareness, care, and emotional presence. In the end, your hands, your presence, and your intention become more than touch. They become a language of love, a language that communicates understanding, trust, and respect without a single word. By learning to navigate these emotional zones with care and attention, you create a relationship where intimacy flows naturally, where emotional bonds deepen, and where your connection grows stronger with every passing day. So slow down, be present, and pay attention. Use your hands to communicate what words sometimes cannot. Every gesture, every gentle touch, every moment of awareness contributes to a relationship built on trust, respect, and genuine emotional closeness. That is the true power of touch, and it is available to every man willing to learn, observe, and care. One deliberate, conscious touch at a time can open an entirely new chapter in your connection, your love, and your shared life. Start today. Be present, be aware, and let your hands speak what your heart feels.